Petro, this is one of your attempts at 11.6 at the Wilson meet last week. A couple things I want to point out. You got, as usual, pretty good acceleration. Looks like you handled that transition up to the 6th step really well. Okay, here's where we start noticing a couple things. Now, the guy's kind of in the way, but you can see right here your arms, and they immediately start to collapse on going into the bend, and that's really limiting your bend, because if you look here, you're dropping into the bend way too early. It should come out at where you're at, actually more like that, instead of kind of the slow deal like it is. And another thing is, it looks like, even in this slow motion version, as soon as your feet leave the ground, you're trying to pop into an invert, and you really could hold the bend a bit longer. It might be a little bit easier to do that now that you transition up to the 160, because it is a softer bend and it is a little easier to get into it. Plus, now being at the 7th step, you're going to be holding a little higher on the pole. Another really major issue. Once you're inverted, you can see what direction your feet are going. You're coming way up here, and that's a solid 30 degrees from the vertical. You really want to be going something a lot more like that, because what that'll do is it'll allow you to push straight up over and kip over the top of it, so you can come up, bend at the waist, and then come down, pulling your arms and shoulders back, to kip the top over. Another thing I might end up doing at the meet at Madison. Looks like your standards might be a tiny bit close to you, but if you just pushed up, you'd be taking care of that instead of pushing out. So we'll work on that and see. I'll make that decision at the meet as just kind of a final way to give you a little bit better chance at 12. All right, Petro, got some things looking good, got some things to work on, and I'll see you at the meet.